Ready?
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
Let's see if the Twitch stream's actually online. It looks like it is. I love it. You are a party of adventurers searching for an ancient, holy artifact of the god Oberon of the elves. Nice. Their high priests are willing to pay a huge sum for this necklace, known as Oberon's Star, which is rumored to contain a piece of the very star on which Oberon himself, the elven god of order and good organization, first fell to the planet.
Oh.
You've spent months traveling all over the land. You've been gathering together lost artifacts spoken of in moth-eaten tomes of lore, which are said to constitute together the key to the ancient sanctuary in which Oberon's star rests. These are 4 solid gold statuettes, each about 8 inches cubic, representing a set of scales, a sword, a coin, and a mug. Take note of that. Scales, sword, coin, mug. You are, between yourselves, you are carrying these objects with you. Don't worry about putting it in your inventory or anything. The temple is too dangerous to be approached by any but the bravest, and sits atop an old, dying tree. Infested with monstrous termites, no elves live there any longer on this street. Other adventuring parties have attempted this quest in the past, but none have succeeded. Knowing that the main entrance to the temple is protected by dangerous traps set in place by the last of the priests before they abandoned the holy place to the monsters, you have approached instead from below, through a twisting labyrinth of termite tunnels. The whole west side of the tree is riddled with such tunnels. Finally, you come into a man-made space built in the shape of a 30-foot wide, 50-foot long rectangle aligned north-south. So, like, north-south. The taller part goes north-south. So the northern and southern walls are 30 feet long, and the eastern and western walls are 50 feet long. You all emerge from a hole in the southwest corner of the room. As you're dusting yourselves off and starting to look at the space, some giant termite workers appear. They're evil-looking pinchers, clasping menacingly. Roll initiative!
$11.
11.
You both got 11?
Mm-hmm. Apparently.
I got an 18.
I got a 14.
Love it, Josh. All right.
Well, I got an 11.
The first thing that happens is one of the giant termites approaches Aaron's character.
Oh, man.
It uses its pinchers to try and pierce your armor. Aaron, oh no!
Did I already get damaged?
It rolled a natural 20.
Okay.
I think that hits.
Yeah, it definitely hits. So, go ahead and take... well, your AC is not 24, is it?
AC?
Armor class.
Oh.
It's in the little shield shape.
No, it's a 16.
Okay. So, yes, it hits you, and we are going to... Where are my D6s? I'm so ill-equipped.
Why you come so ill-equipped?
Because...
you are going to take a tasty... let's see... 6 points of damage right off the bat.
Okie dokie.
But then it's your turn.
Okay. So that moves me to only 22 hit points left.
That's
I
plenty.
carry a a couple of weapons, but the one I want to use right now is my little knife. I can't think of the
Your
name right
dagger?
now. Yes, that's the one.
Right. You're
and
up
I'm
close to this termite, so you
Yeah,
don't want to
he's-
use your bow.
nope, or my spear. So I'm gonna dagger him right in the joint that attaches the pincer pair to his body.
Awesome. Go ahead and do an attack roll for me.
Alrighty. I rolled a 14.
Awesome. That hits. Roll damage.
Okay. Damage, am I rolling the 6? The D6?
Whatever it says, I believe that's going to be a D4 plus 3
Okay.
for your dagger.
Okay, thanks. Well, I got 4.
That's great.
7 damage.
No,
Yeah.
I got a 1, so I have a 4.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
not great.
Well, you do manage to get the knife in there, and it makes like a crazy bug noise, and
First sticker!
but as she is stabbing this termite, what do we see? Who are we looking at charging into battle first out of all these adventurers? What is her name, and what does it look like when she stabs this termite?
So my name is Elm Dragonslayer, and I'm really thankful that my first attack got to be with a dagger, because that is the only thing that has proven useful to me in my prior long and amazing career as a dragon slayer. I successfully killed exactly 1 dragon in my life. It was kind of a baby dragon, but don't tell anybody. It was such a baby that only one of its talons had grown in on each of its claws. And so I was able to use my dagger like a fingernail chopper and chop them off, and then stab the webbing of his...
my.
and then he fell over off of a cliff. And I landed, it was very dramatic, and I have a reputation. So this particular dagger, I feel, is a little lucky to me.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, there's another termite whose turn is next. Which one of you do you think is going to be standing in the front next to Elm Dragonslayer?
That'd be
Trilo
me.
has never stood in the front of anything in his life.
I would push that silly little man out of the way, and I would be in the front.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Slurp.
Slurp.
Slurp. What do you look
Yeah.
like?
It's L, and the one that makes the sound. I'm just kidding. It's SLURP. That's a little orc joke. A lot of people think orcs are really stupid, but kind of most of them are only kind of stupid.
So, you're an orc.
Yeah.
How are you dressed and equipped?
Well, I've got a really nice piece of breastplate that I took from a real fancy guy who was mouthing off to me. I had his horse, but I got hungry and I ate it. It was too slow anyway. And I've got his sword. It's a pretty nice sword. Don't worry, the guy was a real jerk, and I beat him in fair combat. His buddies even saw it, and they were like, "Yeah, that's fair. You can have it." They were really nice after that.
Okay. Well, Slurp, you're getting attacked by a termite here. So, how is a 22 against your armor class?
Ow!
Go ahead and take 4 points of damage. And then another termite comes up to you.
Wow, I'm really popular. They like me, guys.
How's 15 against your armor class?
Not good enough.
Well, this one just tries, and it just cannot get through that.
Bite me once, shame on you. Bite me twice. That's just because I didn't have a good pry bar in my hand. No, I stuck one of my hatchets in its pinchers for now.
Right. So now it's your turn, though.
Nice. Well,
Okay, Slorp takes out his sword and tries to just bring it down on the one right in front of him.
He says, "Get your pinchers off my friends and my wooden handles."
And he tries to stab it.
Mm-hmm.
and that's a 20.
That absolutely hits. Is a natural 20?
Nope.
Okay, yeah,
Just
but that super
total.
hits.
12 points of damage from his greatsword, and he uses his bonus attack. Does that one go down?
Oh yeah, you cut its little head right off with 12 points of damage. It's
And
done.
so he just came down, and he just tries to basically shear it over to the side. He's going to use his bonus action to make a frenzied attack. Oh, that's only a 9.
9 is not going to hit.
All right.
Sometimes it's worth getting fancy.
Dwight, what is Trilo doing in all this?
Trilo has edged his way over to a quiet corner of the room,
Mm-hmm.
a secret, hidden corner of the room, and he would probably take aim at some sort of nearby termite and shoot it.
Do you want to say in particular which one? Right now, there's one that's engaged with Elm Dragon Slayer and another one that's engaged with Slurp, and there is one more that hasn't. That's sort of behind those two and hasn't reached the party yet.
Gotcha. I will shoot at that one because it hasn't moved yet.
Okay. I mean, there's also a dead one.
I will not shoot at that one because it's dead.
Good.
I'm not a
Good call.
complete idiot. I've gone to lots of different schools to be tested.
Yeah, tell us about Trilo as he attacks.
Trilo shoots for, I believe, 14.
That hits.
Nice. Trilo is a very undecisive wooden elf. I believe he's made out of wood. I'm not sure.
What?
He
Going
really
for
doesn't like
puberty?
termites.
You woke in the shop with Geppetto.
Trilo is a ranger cleric wizard. And
I forgot about that.
he really enjoys hanging out with people. Yeah. So he does 7 damage to that termite.
Yeah, I think you get it real good in the side. It's not down yet, but it's taken some damage.
Okay.
All right, Jared, you're up.
So, one of the things Rufus has been wondering this whole time as we've been going up into the tree is what would drive these animals to this. So, first of all, with a pretty high wisdom, I'm looking for any clues that are telling me, is there something wrong with these termites? Or maybe I know from my experience in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I have some deductions that you should tell me now.
If you want to spend your turn thinking, you can certainly do that, and I'll be happy to roll something like a nature check to figure out something about the nature of the termites, or a history check to find out about the history of this infestation. But right now we're narrating like a quick battle sequence. So
Okay.
this is what you do in the current 6-second time slot.
I see. This is a very short period of time.
Yes.
Yeah, and you certainly can spend that 6 seconds looking around, and I'd be happy for that.
If I had $1 million,
If that's what your character
I'd
would
pay
do.
you $1 million to stand there and take your whole turn to say, but why are they attacking us?
I'm not going to attack them right away. I'm going to quickly look for any clues. I don't know if anything that reminds me of something I know about weird termites going wrong, or what's wrong with them. Basically to see if I can come to terms with them and sort things out with them, or if there's just no relationship possible.
Roll me a nature check, or
Okay.
if you really think animal handling. but really a nature check.
Well, dude, are you a ranger or a druid or something?
So Rufus is a farm boy, down to earth, common sense, hard worker, pretty strong. He he doesn't think of himself as any class,
Nice.
but there was a village priest who noticed he likes helping out his neighbors,
Cool.
and started teaching him, and that he really likes healing, mending things, and so I've learned some healing.
Nice. Very
and
cool.
had some, yeah. Okay, so a nature check is a
Yeah.
D20.
Yep, and then add your the modifier next to the word nature.
Okay, natural 12.
A non-prime 12, I might add.
Is help me find the nature.
So if you
Is it at
look
the top?
It was inside you the whole time.
No,
It's
like there's
kind of right in the
there's
middle
a
of the
second
big
column
tall
from the
column,
left.
Second
a
column.
little bit below the middle.
Oh, here we go. Nature +2.
Yeah, so
14.
you don't have any sort of brilliant insight, you think, but these termites have been at enmity with the elves around them for a whole generation. This is a tree that was abandoned long ago because it was uninhabitable by elves due to this termite infestation. You think that these two species are genuinely at enmity with each other, and peace is not possible.
Okay.
The resource, there's only one of this tree, and only either elves or termites possess it.
Yeah. Okay. And what would, if I wanted, you said or animal handling, what kind of thing would that be trying to do?
That would be like if you were trying to ride a termite.
Okay, I see.
But if you had a really high animal handling score and you really wanted to make an animal handling check, a nice DM might be like, oh, maybe. Sure. Whatever. But this is really a nature check.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. That last termite that you saw just get shot by Trilo is going to approach Slurp and going to attack you, Slurp. And how's a 15 against your armor class? Like the other one, which you slayed so soon afterwards, this one's little pinchers just clink clank against your armor.
I got another hand axe for that one. And kind of just wedge it right in there, in between the pinchers.
The termite that's engaged with Elm Dragon Slayer then has its turn. This is the top of the order. This is a very fast termite. Ooh, how is a 23 against your armor class?
No,
That's
that
going
hits.
to hit. And you're going to take 6 points of damage out. But then it's your turn, Elm. I believe you're on mute.
My dagger's still wedged in there, but I've got my bow in my hand, and I flip it around the head of the termite, and I yank in an attempt to decapitate, with the intention that if that works, I'll do the same thing to my neighbor's termite.
Improvised garage. I like it.
So a weapon that's not being used for its intended purpose.
I don't get my bonus? Darn.
You do not have... the reason you get your bonus is because you've trained with this weapon. You have proficiency with it.
Okay. Well, it is the weapon I have, so...
So you can just attack with your dagger, but cinematically use your bow to like do the dagger and the blade and the string at the same time.
Yeah, you can use your dagger, and then we can color it cinematically and say that you employed the bow in some way.
That sounds good.
Post-shoot editing.
Let's do exactly that. Yep. Doing it.
And then I guess
you
you
can see me. It's waving around. It's being very jabby.
Do you roll?
What's that attack roll?
It's a 15.
That hits. Roll up your
Yay.
damage.
Better.
All right. I rolled a 4. Do I again get a +3?
Yeah.
I forgot what made me get the +3 before.
Oh, that's how your dagger. Yeah.
Okay, so 7.
So
7 of damage.
Your dagger is your the regular D4 that any dagger would give anybody, plus 3 for your dexterity because it's a dexterity weapon.
Okay.
So, you slay this termite. It's gone.
Yay.
Dunzo.
Dunzo.
Let me, the DM, tell you about the situation you find yourself in. Having slain this termite, you find that the one remaining termite is a little distance away from you, and the other remaining termite is engaged with Slurp. You haven't moved yet on this turn, so since you've just killed one, you're free to walk around now if you want, and you could move around and get to a range where you would have a good shot at any termites on your next turn with your bow.
Yeah, I'm going to go not opposite of Trilo, but I'm going to go so I'm lined up with both the termites and I'm off to the side of them.
Okay.
I don't want to be lined up with both termites and Trilo.
Okay. And then the termite that's engaged with Slurp, pretty tough looking termite here, tries to take a hit at you, and that is a pretty feeble 7 against your AC. Not gonna hit. Clink, clank. Slurp, your turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think Slurp is going to deal with the one in front of him. Like,
Get your mouth off of my axe.
and he's going to try to stab at this one again. Will a 21 hit this one?
Absolutely.
Then he's going to take 11 points of damage. As a huge greatsword goes.
Trilo, you see Elm Dragonslayer take one out,
and
with
then
a dagger.
he's going to move to get. Still got to move, so he's going to move between that termite and everybody else. Sorry, go ahead.
Are you going? You're not leaving the termites?
I thought there were only 2 left. One that was engaged with me that I just killed, and one that was a little ways off.
Sorry. You did not kill that one. You damaged it. It's a real tough one. But
then
Elm
he's
just
going to use.
killed hers.
He's going to use his bonus action to attack this thing. Will a 19 hit it?
A 19 absolutely hits it.
I said die!
Another 11 points.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's done. Yeah, there are now none of them by you. There's just the one that Trilo shot at.
Okay, he moves.
It's a little ways away.
Oh, he's not going to block the path of the archer though, so he's just going to step forward to engage it without blocking the line of sight. So
okay.
Like, you know where I am.
All right, Trilo. You see Slurp step around so that he's engaged with the final termite, and yet not in line to receive an arrow if you shoot at it.
Gotcha. I shoot a ray of frost at the termite.
Okay.
How's a 7?
7 is going to be a miss.
Oh man. I thought that was gonna look cool. Yeah, I guess it still looks cool. Just doesn't do anything.
It looks pretty cool. Rufus, there's one termite left.
Okay. So I have this spell command.
nice.
And this termite hasn't been attacked, right?
It has.
It has. It got shot by Trilo.
Oh,
Okay.
And then I believe it tried to attack somebody, but missed.
Okay. I am just going to normal-wise attack it with my mace.
All right, so you're gonna walk up next to Slurp. Take
Yeah.
a swing at it.
Yeah. Okay, 11 plus a strength of 3. So 14. Yeah, 14.
14 hits. Roll damage.
Okay, let's see. D8, right?
You should be getting your proficiency bonus as well, though. But that just makes it higher.
Okay, 1, and then do I add the 3 again? The +3 bonus that for my strength? Or
Yeah, usually
Yeah.
the damage you would, yeah.
okay. I give it what apparently is a light whack for 4.
That's a pretty
Half-hearted.
substantial whack. That's half the hit points of a level 1 character.
Okay.
You thump it, but it's dazed a little bit, but it shakes it off, and then it comes at you with its pinchers for 14.
Okay.
Is
I want to tell you
14
my
going to hit
armor.
you?
My armor
Yeah.
is 15.
Then the 14 does not hit it, and you are unscathed. Back to the top of the round, Elm Dragon Slayer. Rufus just smote this termite, but it still seems to be up and kicking.
I think you're muted.
I'm in good position now. I'm going to longbow it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to roll a 1d8 plus 3.
No,
First, you gotta hit it.
Nope. A d20 plus 7
Oh,
to see what.
okay. Got it. 17.
That hits.
Okay.
Now roll me the d8 plus 3.
Okay. 4.
Yeah. So after getting thwacked on the head with the mace, an arrow flies into this last termite and goes and perishes. You find yourselves alone in this room. You light torches or get your lanterns out, or gather up your gear, tap the termites with your toes just to make sure they're not. You listen down the passageway and at the various little holes, just to make sure you don't hear any more if they're little feet coming close. But it seems that you're safe for now. It seems like there aren't any of them around here.
Go ahead.
Flush with the north wall of the room, now that you have a chance to really examine your environment, you see, flush with the north wall, a pillar, 5 feet by 5 feet, stretching all the way from the floor to the ceiling. It is made of a pure white wood, different from the wood of the surrounding tree, or the wood of the wall panels that the room is made of, which those woods are a light brown. There are 4 cubbies set into the side of the pillar, which is facing you. The bottom cubby, as you sort of approach with your torches to examine this feature of the room more closely, the bottom cubby is framed with bronze in a simple geometrical pattern. The second cubby up has loops and whorls of silver wire framing it in a complex and artistic knot. The third cubby from the bottom has a massive and weighty frame of gold, sleek and shining in the torchlight, an ostentatious display. The top cubby is plated in valuable electrum, with bands of ridiculously rare mithril around it, and is set all over with diamonds and emeralds which twinkle like stars.
So first, I'm looking at if anybody, especially Elm, how badly injured she is.
You're muted.
Sorry. 16 hit points left.
So, in general, how do we talk about like how injured someone is? Do we do like a percentage left, or
I'm okay. I'm okay. Like your characters in the story would probably be making more detailed medical diagnoses of each other, but I'm okay with you players just saying, "I lost this many hit points. This is how many I have left." It's fine.
okay?
I don't know what Sir Robert and Josh want, but that's okay with me.
So, like, what was your full hit? You have 16 left, but you used to have.
28.
So that's like halfway.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to. I'm going to say, hey, let me take care of that for you. And
Heal me up?
yeah,
Awesome!
I mean, assuming you don't oppose me.
Nope.
Opposed healing check.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm thankful for it too. I'm wearing a lot of chainmail and I am dragon. Ha 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 ha,
Okay.
dragon one.
I get it.
Dragon Slayer has made jest of her own name. She has earned it because she did something cool.
He just stares at Trilo.
She did something cool.
So let's see.
He
I
looks
do. I do cure wounds,
Some of my things look kind of cool.
which is. Sorry, I'm trying to navigate this. 2d8 plus
He walks
7.
over to the floor, swipes it with his finger, and he's
Whoa.
like,
You literally made snowflakes, you snowflake.
"What'd you do, Jared?"
Are you casting it? Okay. No, good.
Actually-
Go for it.
Actually, I probably don't need that much. I could do lesser. I could do, what's my next one? Cure wounds, 1d8 plus 6. That's probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slurp would like to make a nature check.
So 7 plus 6 is 15. I heal you for 15.
13?
15.
15. That's pretty good.
That's awesome. That gets
Yeah.
me up to more than my prior maximum. That gets me up to a 31 of health.
Oh.
You can't have more
Probably
than your
just
maximum.
bullet.
Darn. Okay, well, it gets me up to 28.
That's awesome.
You
Slurp,
can with necromancy.
quite true.
Is that what you
quite
say?
true.
Is that what your character says?
Mine? No, mine says thank you very much, sir.
No,
More
Josh.
like necrofancy, am I right?
Necromancers are the fanciest of wizards, it is known.
No.
So
Slurp walks over to one of these
Cubbies.
no termites, golly, and rips its head off and starts like poking his finger around in the mouth and starts like poking around for like glands or secretions or anything like that. And he's making a nature check to figure out, does he know anything about whether or not termites have like scent glands or anything? Slurp is not a complete and utter moron, and
Sure.
he at least has the sense to understand the concept of smell. But how much of a David Attenborough insight are you going to give me with a 17?
if let me remind you that one of your fellow adventurers is a ranger, and you might work together, in which case, if you help each other, you can roll this check with advantage.
I'm also
Yeah.
a ranger.
That sounds awesome. Are you?
Yeah, I think Slurp just brings it over to Trilo and says,
No,
Yeah, what's
you're
the-
other ranger.
Who here is not a
There it is.
ranger?
and he holds it. Slurp like lets his elbow hang down.
He's like, that's a negative for me.
I failed at rangering school.
He turns to Elm. It's like,
Dragon Slayer, what? Do these things have like smelly bits that we can like rub on our faces and stuff so that we can make kissy things with the other termites?
That's awesome. How do I roll to know this, or do I just know it?
Just one of you makes the roll with advantage. Usually, you should pick the one that has the higher
Bonus.
the higher bonus.
I only have a
I
plus
have a
one.
0.
All right. What am I rolling?
It would be nature.
Nature. Okay. I've got a +1.
Okay, go for it. Roll twice and take the higher.
I actually have +2.
Do it.
I'll take a look.
He turns from you, just turns away from you mid-sentence, like you're about to analyze it. He just turns and brings it over to Rufus. He's like
I said, sorry, man. Apparently everybody's a ranger. I'm sorry. So,
I'm not a ranger. I just like animals.
he goes to like half turn back over towards Elm. He's like,
I'm tired of taking this. Here.
and he just like hands the head to Rufus.
So you want to know whether there's any way that you can use these corpses to disguise your scent.
Correct.
I rolled a natural 15 with modifier at 17.
And then roll one more time and see if you get anything higher, because I'm
right.
helping you by bringing you a severed head and a very specific scope of question.
I mean, I think really all four of you have put your heads together to try and answer this question, but D&D doesn't have a mechanic for 4 players all working together. Only the 2.
You roll 4 times and the best one wins.
You can't
That's right.
roll quadruple advantage. It's not a thing.
All right.
Yeah.
You triple
Did you
advantage,
roll a
right?
second time?
Yeah, but it wasn't as high as 17.
Nice.
Okay.
So
Five
what does
times
17 get us?
quadruple
With a
advantage.
17, what you get is you're able to figure out that yes, they do use scent to communicate. However, it's fairly complex. And it's likely that when these termites died, they would have released a scent that would not be pleasant to the other termites. That it might
fair
actually do the opposite of what you want. If you were to smear dead termite, like danger warning, scared termite scent all over you, it might actually attract warrior
Nice.
termites to defend the
Do
hive.
it. Yeah. You should do that, Flonk.
I don't think these termites are evil. They're just living here. If we can... I've been trying to learn how to talk to animals. I think if I can find maybe a baby, I might be able to befriend it. Or at least a young one. Maybe it can lead us. We don't want to kill the termites.
Would you teach a lot of stuff? Because then it would be your pupil.
No.
We just want the necklace, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
What do any of us want? I
Side
don't
curiosity about this wood, but the necklace really.
Yeah, I mean they're eating trees, and I'm made out of wood, so I'm
You're
alright
real to
doing
me.
that.
know. Real pain in the butt.
is he
He
really
walks
made out
over
of
to
wood?
the cubbies and
It's
like
not.
sticks his hand into the bronze cubby hole.
I'm a wooden elf, okay?
What are you trying to do, sticking your hand into the bottommost of the cubby holes?
Provoke it.
Provoke the cubbyhole?
Yeah.
To like chomp your hand or
He just like kind of like slaps his finger around the inside of the cubby hole.
Make me
Trilo
a
knows
sleight of hand check.
there's a coin and a
Okay.
cup. I can't remember the other 2 things.
16.
It's there are some seams in there where
There-
different pieces of wood sort of fit together. It's not
Okay.
one whole
Oh.
piece. It's not carved solid.
Okay.
Trilo grabs the coin
Okay.
and jams it in the top cubby hole because it's the one with money.
Okay. Trilo puts the
Did you find anything,
coin
Slurp?
figurine in the topmost of the cubbies.
Oh, but first, what's on the coin? What's it look like?
It is an ornate gold figurine representing a coin
So-
in the Oberonian religious style.
Perhaps I should put it in the second cubby because it's the gold cubby.
What was that about a coin, a sword, scales, and a mug?
You all know this intimately because you spent months finding these figurines, which the legends say are the key to accessing the sanctuary where your ultimate goal is kept. And so you have with you these gold figurines of
they're all
a
gold.
set of scales, a coin, a sword, and a mug.
Let's try to match them.
It seems like 4 cubbies, 4 keys. We might try shuffling them up. Only so many permutations, provided they don't
takes
like
the mug
eight.
one and shoves it into the bottom bronze cubby.
Coins in the second, the gold one.
And he steps back and like just kind of waves his hands like, "Go ahead."
What was
Nothing
the
happens.
second from the bottom cubby?
Mug.
Bottom to top goes bronze, silver, gold, electrum, etc. So mug in the bottom.
Gold in the gold.
Maybe.
Coin in the coin. Coin in the gold.
So when you said scales, that's like weighing scales?
Or dragon scales.
Okay. Bronze, silver, gold, electrum. What do you think? Coin in gold?
I think Trilo already put
It's
it in.
already in there.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
you
we've
can
got-
definitely talk about it if you want.
We've
I'm
got the.
thinking, what with all of the different components to the top one, that might be a situation for comparative valuation. So that's my argument for scales on the top one.
Put it in there!
Sounds good.
Jam that sword in the silver slot.
All right, so scales are in the top.
And the mug is in bronze. Okay.
So the
How was that
sword
guess?
the sword is empty. The sword one is still empty. Who's got the sword one?
I'll put it in.
Trilo offers
Rufus.
his-
Rufus does. Okay, Rufus puts it in.
as you slide the statuettes into place, you can feel hidden mechanisms in the pillar click, and you hear some a sliding in the walls, a rumbling, and the room starts to shake very slightly as a low
Slurp is like, guys, this isn't me! This isn't me!
and the pillar starts to
Again.
vibrate slightly and then rise up into the ceiling.
Ooh.
And as this perfectly white pillar rises slowly under, as you know, probably some hidden counterweights in the walls start to take its load, it clicks halfway up, and the mechanism catches and like grinds a little bit, but then seems to get through whatever rustiness it had, and slides the rest of the way up. And as it continues to slide up, you see there is a passage, like a hole in this pillar that comes up from the floor, and when the pillar finally reaches its highest spot, that passage lines up with a door on the north wall.
Okay.
Wait, I didn't understand that. So it's like a door
There's like
at floor level?
Yeah, there was a door that was
Behind the
covered
white pillar.
behind the pillar. The pillar rose
And now it's
up,
been
there was
revealed.
a passage through it, and now it's revealed.
Okay.
Can we all get through this? I'm half human, half elf on the smallish side, so for elves, biggish side for humans, so I'm pretty sure I can get through, but can
What
y'all?
about Orconian
How
over
big is
here?
it?
It's like 3.5 feet wide and like 6 feet tall. You can all get through it.
Yeah, Slurp has to turn sideways and duck down, but he's like kind of like Hunchback of Notre Dame, you know.
I'm
Maybe
inclined
it's
for us
forward.
all to get through it pretty quickly. Not one at a time, not piecemeal, but kind of burst through together. Force en masse. So we don't know
Trilo will
what's on the
go
other side.
last.
Okay, let's go.
All right, Slurp runs towards the door and hits it with his shoulder as hard as he can.
Make me
Trilo
an
observes it.
athletics check.
Okay.
Try and break the door.
Yeah, sure. That's a 18.
You bounce off the solidly constructed door.
Man,
He just kind of kicks it, and then he reaches out and tries the handle.
It opens.
Hot dog!
Boring. Kicks the door open. Steps in, kind of working his shoulder.
Maybe you should get a new one. Shoulder.
There's a set of stairs that go up.
Do you fall up them?
Hey guys, there's stairs going up.
Let's go.
All right.
He just runs up the stairs.
And I'm right on his heels because I can't stand to be last in anything exciting.
Trilo can stand to be last.
Trilo's good back here.
The first thing that catches your eye when you emerge into this sanctuary is the broad, domed ceiling, barely visible at the edges of the lights that you carry. It's at least 50 feet high. Rising up into that airy space is the pillar, now revealed as a lofty and elegant altar, rising up from a stage on the north end of the room, from which a priest might address the congregation. The stage is 20 feet deep and 10 feet high. Most of the room is wrecked with termite goo. Smooth, random curves bored into the wood have replaced the orderly arrangement of this space with animal chaos. Most of the floor is sticky and spongy, soft and half dissolved by animal digestion goo. Piles of insect saliva coated paper pulp lie all around in mounds. The stage itself is piled high with gelatinous, softly glowing termite eggs. With every step, you squish wriggling larvae into the slime. The queen, her giant, pale, pulsating body thrumming with menace, lumps down off the stage and charges at you.
Nice.
Roll initiative.
No.
16!
5. I got my foot stuck in a hole and some of the sponge and crap.
I've got a 7.
17.
Josh,
17 modified.
Mine's a 5. Aaron's is a 6 or 7.
Slurp is the 5.
Yeah.
Jared, your character's name is
Rufus.
Rufus.
The farm boy.
Nice.
I love that archetype. That's so great.
What's your class?
The farm boy. He's learned some healing stuff, but he's not like part of a formal religion.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah, but
Rufus,
What class are you?
It's like the dude meets Shane. What?
Rufus, the termite queen is not actually faster than you, so you have a chance to act before any blow has been struck yet. This is an angry animal. You've entered its inner chamber of its hive where its young are and all its eggs, and it is rushing to defend itself.
So I have +4 animal handling if that's at all helpful.
I don't want to fight this.
Make friends with it then.
Animal
Okay.
handling is mostly for things like communicating with tame animals or riding on animals, or there are spells and things that you can use to befriend animals and charm animals and things like that. Usually, animal handling is like if you would try to persuade a person, you might try to animal handle an animal. So you can certainly
Okay.
try to calm this animal with an animal handling check. It's up to me to set how difficult that is, and hopefully describe it realistically so that you will understand how difficult that will be in this situation.
I I also have a Hunter's Mark spell, if that's useful when it gets to my turn, but I'm not going to have a turn for a while.
That doesn't have any transition though.
Nope.
Okay.
Two different bands.
I'm going to say, wait. And in so doing,
She's a beaut.
use my command spell on her
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. I like
to
it.
have her stop.
Okay, can you read me the text of the command spell?
Okay, you speak a one-word command to a creature you can see within range. Where's the range? 60 feet.
It's within 60 feet.
The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn. The spell has no effect if the creature is undead. If it doesn't understand your language... no, I guess my character would know that, so he would know it wouldn't work.
Yep.
Okay.
I like the idea, though.
Okay. Well, I am going to quickly bless my teammates then.
Sweet.
Up to 3 creatures
Using-
within range.
Which god
Let's
are you
see.
praying to?
Just this spirit right now. He didn't tell me his name. Or it.
Even Dwight, who is your other character? Who is the priest of Pan?
That was something. I met him. I don't remember that.
Okay, so do you guys know how bless works? I'll read this out. You bless up to 3 creatures. Elm,
Melt.
Trilo,
Minotaur.
and Slurp.
That's right.
Whenever you make an attack roll or a saving throw, you can add a d4.
Nice. I like that action.
For how long?
For
Oh,
1 minute.
wait. When I use it for 2nd level or higher, addition... Oh, that I can target additional creatures, I see. Let's see. Duration.
1 minute. Concentration.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a concentration spell. There are certain other spells that you're not going to be able to use. You can only have one concentration spell going at a time. So this is your one for now.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, until
Good to know.
what does your spell look like when you cast it?
Doesn't look like much. I just ask for help. Please help us in this.
The 3 of you feel an unseen, sort of unknown spiritual presence fill you with strength.
Slurp is like,
Thank you, Rufus God.
Trilo, your turn.
Hi guys. I'm gonna shoot at that queen with my long bow.
Can oh, I should. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
See.
well, I'm gonna touch it from across the room.
Ooh, 18. How's that? How's that to hit?
That's gonna hit.
It does 6 damage.
The arrow sinks into the side of the animal, just infuriating it. Did you move at all during your turn? I'm imagining that the 4 of you are all standing together right now.
Trilo would edge away from the group of people and into a shady corner of the room.
Are you going to actually try and hide?
I think that's an action, so probably not.
Okay, so you're going to go away from the queen.
Yeah.
How far?
Anything less than 150 feet.
Why don't you just tell me the number?
35 feet away from the group and
Okay.
the queen. So.
How big's the cave?
The queen is currently 10 feet away from the group. It hasn't reached
Yeah.
you yet.
So I'll get
Trilo, you're
back
gonna
to
end
45
up
feet.
45 feet away from the queen.
Yeah. Well, some sort of triangle hypotenuse.
Okay, if you're gonna go off to the
Whatever.
side, is it east or west or?
The right.
Okay.
Girl, I want to get into a triangle with you.
So this room is really big. It's something like 200 feet north to south and like 100
Nice.
feet east to west.
Nice.
You're about 30 feet away from the stage that I described. That's a wooden platform about 10 feet high. You're pretty close to even with the pillar. The pillar is directly in front of you. If you remember, you came up these stairs and they took you south a little ways as you went up, and you sort of came up through a trap door in the floor.
Gotcha.
So which direction, which side are you going off on, Trilo?
The east side.
Cool. The queen rushes at you and, seeming to think that Slurp is probably the biggest threat, he being the biggest, focuses her attacks on you. This is
Wait, can she
boss.
move?
Yeah, she like hulks her big body grossly.
Oh yeah, because I couldn't stop her. That's right. Yeah, okay.
Yep. So she comes up to the three of you who are, or actually I should ask you, Rufus, if you backed away from it. Something that you should know is in D&D 5th edition is that once you have closed and you're within melee range of an enemy, they get a free attack at you if you walk away from them during your turn.
Okay.
Usually, unless you spend your action, like instead of attacking, to do something called the disengage action, which would let you walk away from them, like parrying them and stuff, so that you don't trigger that opportunity attack. It's called. So that's why I'm giving you a chance. Like, hey, on your turn, did you run away from this creature, or are you still standing here and you're going to let it come up to you? Because if it comes up to you, it gets an attack on you if you try to leave.
Okay. No, I'm not going to back off from it.
Okay, cool. So it approaches the three of you, Rufus and Elm and Slurp, and it focuses its attack on Slurp. And that is going to look like two claws come out at you. One of them misses, and the other one misses too. Some miserable rolls. But then this nasty sting that it has on its back, almost like a scorpion sting, comes whipping around at you. And that is going to be a 9 to hit. The queen's just, I guess it's enraged, or it's not thinking straight. And she like tries to attack you 3 times, and you just deftly, you've got no problem handling it. Elm, it is now your turn.
It's
You've
my
seen
turn,
this,
and I'm about 10 feet away from her, right?
No, it's close with you.
Okay.
You're right up next to it now.
So I'm nowhere near longbow range. I'm
You're
going to
not.
use my spear, and I'm going to try and stab it through the part of her body that is a flailing poison stinger. Yeah.
Roll attack.
Okay. I rolled a 16. I wonder if there's anything else that goes with that. How do I know? Melee weapon, spear, a d20 plus 1, so 17.
That hits. It looks like the spear is a strength weapon, so you're actually going to subtract 1 from it
Oh, back to 16.
when you do damage. Not from not from the attack, but
From the damage amount.
from
Okay.
the damage amount, it looks like.
All right, one moment.
And it's going to be a d6 if you're using one hand to hold the spear, and a d8 if you're using both hands.
I'm close enough I can't do anything else. I might as well do both hands. I rolled a 5. My spear damage is 1. My spear damage says 1d8 minus 1. Okay. So 4.
So 4. Yeah, you're you get it with the spear. It
Yay.
doesn't seem to do doesn't seem to injure it very badly. This is a pretty bulky creature with a lot of flesh.
But is she stuck to the spongy ground? I'm trying to pin her in place. Ah, darn.
This is her nest. Yeah. Slurp. You see Elm sticks a spear in.
Yeah, I think you see Slurp just like throw his head back and he just yells, and you see all the veins bulge on his neck, and you see him literally go up in size a few percent. And he takes his great sword, grips it with 2 hands, and just starts swinging at the queen. So he is in a frenzy, and I'm gonna see here. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to attack for 21. Does 21 hit?
Definitely.
In that case, this thing takes 14 points of damage from his greatsword. And he uses his move action to move. Like if it's not squared up with him completely, he's going to move around to get completely squared up with it in its face.
Okay. Yeah, you're right up in its face. Top of the order, Rufus. It's your turn.
Okay.
Your fellow adventurers are hacking away at it. It's beginning to ooze.
Oh, sorry.
more.
Can I add 2 melee damage to that I forgot to add? My apologies.
Sure.
Thank you. I won't do that again. I apologize.
Okay, let me just talk with you about some. I'm still trying to put all the pieces together in my imagination, and so I can know what my guy would do, be able to figure out in an instant. So it's about 200 feet long.
Yeah, it's a big.
How far? Like how long is a turn?
6 seconds. So a minute is
6
divided
seconds.
up into 10 turns.
Okay.
And it's
And
a
how-
little bit squishy. It's not actually that D&D play. It's a little bit squishy with the time, where it's sort of like all the turns in a round are happening at once. It's like the set of turns that you all took was the same 6 seconds, the same tenth of 1 minute, and yet this thing happened first, and then this thing, and then this thing, and then this thing in that 6 second block. It's not super strictly defined.
Okay.
But yeah, this all happened very quickly.
Were we supposed to add the D4 from the blessing to the numbers we gave you?
Yes, you should have.
Dang it. Okay.
Okay.
On the attack, not the damage.
But none of you has missed yet, so
Okay.
it does not have like thick armor like a rhinoceros or anything like that. It's very gross and pulpy and like it looks like a termite queen.
About how big is she? Is she like 10, 20 feet?
She's like 10 feet long.
10 feet long? Okay. And then, okay. I'm going to try to disengage with her and run past towards the end. If I can just peek and see, like what's in my mind is like, I just want to get the necklace and leave. If it's in here, or if we can just get past. So can I just tell by looking real quick while I'm still engaged, or what needs to happen?
I will cheat a little bit and let you disengage from the queen, and also make a perception check to look around the room.
Okay.
Usually, I would say if you want to spend your turn looking around, that's your action. But I'll give you a free disengage action to get away from the queen, as well as letting you make that perception check.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Just to be blunt, guys, I want a necklace, but I mostly want to kill things. So,
I like killing things too.
Your partner Elm is in this to kill the monsters.
14.
I'm made
Okay,
out
so
of wood.
14.
So I don't like.
I rolled a
termites.
14, and then I am doing a perception check.
Yep.
Perception plus 3.
Okay. Yeah, with a 17, you do indeed see that on the top of the pillar, the very top of the pillar, which has sort of been revealed as it shifted upwards in this room as a kind of fancy altar on top, that there is a sort of an ornate sort of
Place.
golden piece of equipment for displaying or arranging
Okay.
this necklace. And you do see what looks like the necklace on the top of the altar.
Okay. And describe it again. It's like totally ruined and slimy, and then there's something like an altar. Is there like a way up?
30 feet, about 30 feet north of you, there's a big tall stage, about 10 feet tall. There are various stairs and ladders. It's not super hard to climb up to this stage. On top of the stage, there's a bunch of gross eggs. The stage seems to be where the termite queen lays her eggs. And rising from the front part of the stage, like where a priest or a preacher would address the congregation, is this very tall altar. It also has some kind of stairs or step ladder that has been arranged so that somebody could stand there as though it was like a pulpit.
Okay. Well,
and it's
I'm
on
going.
top of this that the treasure is.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna run that way, not at full speed. I don't know how you guys usually do running, but
Did
like fast. I'm gonna figure out how fast I can run. Kind of like avoiding the eggs,
Yeah, you've got
not squishing eggs all the time.
Your character sheet will actually tell you how far you can go in one turn, and that's going to be your speed. So your walking speed. It's probably 30 feet.
Yeah.
So in this turn, you can reach the stage, and it will probably take you your next turn to climb up onto the stage.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. I'm gonna mark that on my on the sheet where I'm keeping track of the geography here. Trilo, Rufus has run up to the north towards the stage after you saw your other two fellow adventurers hacking at this gross monster.
Nice. I will cast a guiding bolt on the queen. Come on, good roll. How's a 19 to hit?
19 absolutely hits.
Ooh, okay, let me see what happens. A flash of light streaks towards the queen. Yeah, and the next attack roll made against the queen before the end of my next turn has advantage, thanks to mystical dim light glittering on the target until then. So thanks, Oberon or Chandran or whoever we're here for.
All right. Next is the queen.
Do you want to have that damage, or do you just want to hear about it?
Oh, I'm sorry. It also damages her.
Yeah.
Definitely tell me the damage.
11 damage. It's 4d6, and I rolled pretty poorly. I guess not that poorly. 4 to 16.
11 damage is quite a bit.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, but okay, so
I stubbed my toe for 11 damage once.
Elm, the termite queen, gets zapped by this spell from behind you, and then turns away from Slurp, who she completely failed to do any damage to the last time she attempted it, and turns to you and focuses her insectoid rage on you. For 13 is probably not going to hit you. And ouch. An 8 is probably not going to hit you. but then the scorpion sting comes out, and this is a little better. 15 plus 4 is 19. Does a 19 hit you?
19 hits me, yep.
The 2 claws try and fail, but then she takes a minute and she lines it up, and the tail comes out and just whack right into you. Who just arrived? What just happened?
This is what I'm thinking of right now.
We've been hacked.
Somebody's drawing a
wow.
fake picture of it.
Do you
That's
know?
awesome.
Do you guys know Earthworm Jim?
I remember.
Oh, I love it. That's so awesome. It's like a Drider, but a termite
For
Drider.
those who may be listening on a podcast in the future, Jared has brought up some awesome fan art from various video games and things showing
Using the phrase "Queen Slug for a butt" at DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
Basically.
So if you want to see what we're seeing right now, just go to DuckDuckGo, type in
the phrase
"slug for a butt."
"Queen Slug for a butt."
Well, the full name is Queen Pulsating Bloated Festering Sweaty Pus-Filled Malformed Slug Robot.
Gotcha.
I mean, that is very much what I was thinking for this boss.
But through the wonder of modern associative metadata, you can get there for the low phrase of "Queen Slug for a butt."
Wow.
Wonderful. I love it.
Okay, so have I been stung, or have I just been knocked
You have
down? And
you
did
have
that
been
tail bring back
stung.
my spear? Because I want my spear back. If it's in that tail, that tail came toward me. I am reclaiming it.
Oh, you don't have to have ever let go of it.
Oh, yeah, because I was trying to pin it to the ground.
But
I'm glad to have it back now.
It didn't work, You have it.
Okay.
No,
cool.
you're going to take a cool. First, you're going to take 7 piercing damage from the stinger itself, and then you're going to have to make me a Constitution saving throw as it begins to inject you with poison.
Okay, Constitution saving throw. What? Am I rolling a d20 there?
You're going to roll
And
a
you're-
d20, and you're going to add your Constitution saving throw modifier. You're going to see that in the left.
Yep, it's a plus 2, which means I have a 22.
And you add a D4 to it, which, if you want me to roll for
Right.
you, is a 4.
You know what? I've got it.
Oh, you got it?
I got a 3 on my d4. That is
There
a
you go.
27. No, that's a 25.
So, that's
I
good.
rolled a 20. I have a plus 2. I have a plus 3.
You
Does-
are very strong and hardy, and so this poison does not do nearly as much damage to you as it would do to anybody else.
Yay.
However, that damage is still going to be actually not that bad. 5. You're going to take 5 poison damage.
Okay, so I'm back down to a 16.
Does she cry out in pain?
I'm pretty sure I do.
That makes me stop and turn my head.
Slurp yells out,
Be strong, Dragon Slayer! You are tougher than your tiny puny frame belies.
And with
I just
that,
learned that word on my word of the day card.
and he holds up a little word of the day card.
Belies.
and
Belied.
Good thing about Word of the Days is they don't take up an action, so.
That's right.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
free action.
and with that battle cry, Slurp gets his own turn.
So Slurp is
Oh
going.
wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. No, he doesn't. The
Ha!
Termite Queen just attacked Elm. It is now Elm's
Elm
turn.
gets the move.
Okay.
Let's go.
And you get advantage if you attack.
Right. The next attack
'Cause
gets
she's
advantage
below it.
because of Trilo's Guiding Bolt spell. So when you roll your attack roll 2d20 and pick the higher one.
Okay. I'm going to go with the spear again.
And add 1d4.
All
And
right.
also add 1d4.
Okay, here's my first d20. I got a 2. So that would
But
be...
you do it at advantage.
All right. My second d20 is a 10. So I've got a 10, and then I've got the... What was the guiding?
You
That
add
would
a
be
4. Oh.
A d4. So roll
Okay.
Roll a d4 and add that.
That's actually the
D4
breath. The
gave
guiding
me a
bolt
2.
was your
So you're up to
second roll.
12, then your proficiency bonus and your dexterity.
The spear
Wait.
is actually not
Oh.
her dexterity, it's her strength. And I don't think she's actually proficient with the spear. I don't know what's
Don't
going
think
on.
Why are
I
you
don't know
using
why
a
it's
spear?
here. I gave it
What?
to her. I don't know. You should.
Why wouldn't you be using your dagger? I mean, you've been using your dagger.
The spear does more damage when it hits. And this is
Oh.
a very easy creature to attack, and she
Okay.
has just succeeded in hitting it. So
Okay,
go
gotcha,
ahead
sure.
and roll the
D8.
D8 minus 1.
Okay. D8 minus 1 yielded a 4.
All right. You give it four little points of damage there. Slurp. Now it's your turn. The creature just stung the dragon slayer and poisoned her, although she seems to be taking it pretty well. And then she stabbed it with a spear.
Yeah. So you see Slurp, when it stings Dragon Slayer, he's like, Dragon Slayer, no! And he just brings the sword up and he like covers up his face and makes himself completely vulnerable and just brings it back like he's chopping wood and just with advantage, but at a -5 because he's doing a frenzied attack. And that gives him advantage, but she is going to have advantage to attack him if she wants. So he's got advantage on the roll, but he's also doing his great weapon master thing where he just cranks back and just goes for it. -5, so that's going to be a 17 to hit.
17 to hit hits.
Okay,
Wow.
and then he's going to do this plus 15.
Plus what?
Because he gets plus 10 from the great weapon feat thing. That's what the -5 got him. And he does +5 to damage all day long.
Yep.
So that's 15 plus 6 is 21 plus 4 is 25. So that's his first attack.
Don't worry about it. Your broadsword comes down. So what you guys see is this orcish... Are you a barbarian?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a Path of the Berserker orc barbarian.
So your orc barbarian suddenly becomes...
He's like foaming from the mouth, and there's like small clouds of spit and saliva, foam, and mucus flying from his mouth.
Rufus, looking at this from the stage to the north, you are not sure which of the two completely berserk animals is the more animalistic. As your teammate Slurp becomes completely wild and just in an absolute frenzy just cuts the queen right in half, right through the belly. There were a couple wounds there already, but with this giant broadsword just cleaves right through her. And
Thank you.
He drops his axe, steps onto the thorax, grabs the head, and just rips it up and holds it up above his heads and starts like licking the juice and stuff that's dripping out of the head.
It is then that you notice a terrible smell beginning to emanate from this body.
Uh-oh.
But you have won.
Thought this would taste more like Powerade.
That's right.
Guys, get in here, replace your electrolytes.
Oh, gosh.
She ain't using it.
Okay, so if the queen has let off some danger juice, the scent attractor for warrior termites, then we are in a world of hurt. We need to grab that thing and find an exit strategy.
Or we
Slurp.
can just shoot everything that comes in here.
Slurp is going to grab
We will have
her
to high ground.
enormous body and is going to push it over to the opening of whatever opening there is to the room and try to blockade that with her body, because he gets to push, pull, lift, do athletics checks as though he's a full size larger than himself. So with just crazy unnatural strength, he just
Tell me precisely where you're putting it.
How many openings are there in and out of the? How many entrances, exits to the room other than one we just came through?
This is a very big room. You came up through a trapdoor in roughly the center towards the north, but all the way to the south there's a very big sort of grand entryway that's probably like 20, 25 feet wide and very tall. And also on the western side of the room, it's just honeycombed with termite tunnels. There are the entrances of who knows how many, 5 or 6 different tunnels that lead from the western wall and floor and ceiling into this room. You think even if you maybe like tried to walk on that western side of the room, it might be difficult terrain because of how much insect stuff is going on over there.
Yeah, sure.
Meanwhile,
what do you think, guys? What you're doing?
Altar.
So, you're going to approach the altar. As you climb up the altar, it gets progressively cleaner. You've been sort of making your way through insect slime, but up on the top, you do find yourself in like almost this pristine area that's very sort of, I don't know if you've ever been in like a fancy old Catholic church, but they've got that platform that they read from in the front of the church. Mm-hmm. It's very much like that. So the reader is almost suspended in the air by the architecture in order to address the congregation. And you find yourself up there, and it's the only place in this room that's probably basically untouched by the insects. And the Jewel of Oberon is indeed here. You can see this strangely shaped crystal. It's a simple gold necklace with a pendant of blue crystal that's somewhat longer than it is wide. The crystal is strangely shaped as though it's fitted for some unknown mechanical purpose, as though it's been sort of shaped very deliberately. And if you peer into the depths of this crystal, you can see a dim sort of magical orange glow.
If I was going to do an insight or perception check, what would those things
just
be?
Tell me what your character wants to know, and I'll tell you what you have to do.
I guess I'm trying to understand what my character, what he's oriented around. He has a high wisdom, which gives him natural insight.
That's for you to know. What your character would do is totally up to you. As a cleric, somebody who has been touched by the divine, you do feel, I think, you feel a sense of loss. Although you do love animals, there is a way in which the sort of desecration of this room, although not obviously not intentional, not done by any evil act of man, it still saddens you.
Just as he's thinking about the desecration, you see the body of the queen go kind of flying through the air in an arc right towards the spongiest part of the floor, and it crashes. You've seen him kind of get his grip and get a good hammer throw grip. He lifts it up off the ground, does a little spin, and flings the biggest part of the carcass.
Why don't you roll me an athletics check to see how well this throw goes?
Happy to do so.
More like how well the gasp goes.
How about a 21?
Yeah.
24 if I'm still blessed by Oberon.
Yeah, the body flies and collides with the entrances to the tunnels, and just it's all bent out of shape and bloated and oozing.
Cool. He kind of throws the head and the other parts over there too.
So let me step back and ask: if you're playing a character with high wisdom, that doesn't help you make better decisions for what your character would do, though, right?
Spoken like someone with a high wisdom score, I might add.
No, it's a good idea. No, that is how you should play your character. If your character has high wisdom, then you should be like, oh hey, my character would figure out this thing that I, the player, have figured out. I think.
Okay. But it's like if Jared Wilk has a wisdom of 14 and my character has a wisdom beyond that,
That is what you have me for. You can say my character tries to figure out such and such.
my character is going to be wise about approaching the necklace and figuring out whether to just snatch it and run as fast as he can, or be careful and check for traps or something.
That's a great idea. Roll me up an investigation.
Ooh,
Oh dang it! That's intelligence. Oh no.
I'm pretty good at investigation. Is this a thing that anyone can help with?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can help. I'm.
If you're going
actually
to
not
if you're going to
terrible at
approach the
investigation.
altar and help him out, and be like, wait, don't touch that. Let's check it out first.
I have
While
a
their
plus
heads are all
2 for
together-
investigation. What do you have?
You see Slurp in the background, and he's got his axe, and he's just hacking at things. He's just trying to compromise the structure of the tunnel entrances to make them collapse. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to look over and call out, Alan, will you take a look at this with me?
Sure, I've got +3 investigation or I've got +4 perception. It seems like either of them could be useful.
Don't ask me, guys. I'm really busy here. Really busy.
The question that you guys want the answer to is an investigation check.
Okay.
So then Erin rolls that one with advantage because I'm helping her.
Yeah.
I rolled a 20, so I've got a 23. I'll roll again.
But you can't
not
get
Not
better.
as good. Shocker.
You definitely get the idea that this pillar and the necklace on it is wired up with one of the priest's clever traps that you've heard this temple is full of. You have a strong suspicion, and indeed, having looked at having activated the mechanisms of this pillar in the room below you, you notice some of the same sort of mechanical features on the top of the altar as you saw below. With that, we are going to take our 10-minute 9 o'clock break. So we are going to find out what our characters do with this necklace in this ancient elven sanctuary. I'm going to see if I can get Twitch Studio Beta version 0.101.7 to do a Be Right Back screen. And we will be right back with you at 9:07.
908. Yeah, give or take.
Welcome back. I hope you can see us because I feel like you probably should be able to.
And we can see you!
If you're also on Twitch, we might.
I can see us, but I can't hear us. FYI.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
I unmuted us.
I can hear you now.
Hey, that's great.
Maybe.
I'm glad.
It looks like the video and the audio are not.
Well, if you don't like what you're seeing and hearing with regards to video and audio, you should blame Twitch Studio Beta version 0.101.1, which I'm running on my
Or
computer
Trilo
to
and
stream
his
this.
sixth wisdom.
I'm using this program for the first time. I hope it works. But somebody tells me that somebody in chat is saying that they can see and hear us. So I'm happy about that, and we will continue on. Let's go. Our characters have just approached this tall, very tall altar with the treasure that they've been seeking for months, ensconced in a holding device on top of it, and have just figured out from looking at it without touching it yet that they think that it probably is booby-trapped in some way.
And in the background, they see Slurp running, and they see him jump and throw his shoulder into the wall of one of the tunnels, and he kind of steps back.
Their fellow adventurer, who is an orc named Slurp, is apparently trying to cause as much mayhem and damage to the termite-related structures as he can find.
He's trying to collapse. He's trying to collapse some of the tunnels to try to block at least some of the exits, so that he's got fewer entry points of bad guys. He's hoping to eventually work his way up to a choke point, but he thinks that's probably a pipe dream. He'd settle for any number fewer tunnels out of which termites will be pouring.
This is amazing, and I love it. Go ahead and make me an athletics check.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm really hoping we can get to the outside of this cavern and hopefully the outside of the tree, because as long as we're inside the wood, we're vulnerable from every direction. On the outside, the termites have to come to us from the wood.
Yeah.
28.
Wow. So you I don't know how you have so much mass, but somehow you seem to have turned into like a Battletoads style wrecking ball.
Yeah.
And just smash yourself into the wall here, and you all hear actually a clank, and something in the floor beneath your feet shifts and slides, and then you start to hear a grinding, like a slow
The pillar.
grinding sound.
Elm, can you rig up some sort of arrow net to shoot this necklace off? Well, does it look like we could shoot it off? Or is it intricately bound on there?
Are you asking me or the Dungeon Master? I can totally shoot it, yeah. Confident.
Is it a range that we could maybe shoot it off?
It absolutely is within range for you to.
I can definitely shoot it.
Or
Trilo shoots it. Too late. It's already happened.
Okay.
I mean, we don't want to break it, but
Trilo,
at it.
Trilo,
You
where
see,
are
Rufus, when you've got Trilo in the group, you have to operate by the maximum. There are no bad ideas. No dumb ideas.
Right. So, Trilo, where are you standing in the room when you shoot at the necklace?
Within 150 feet of the necklace.
No, but so last time I knew where you were standing. You were standing on the east side of the room, trying to sort of get into some sort of cover from the monster.
Yeah, well, all this
it's been a
crazy
little while
stuff has been
since
happening, so I've been wandering closer.
Tell me where you are standing. It can be
draw a
wherever you
circle
want.
around the necklace.
there's like a lower floor, and then it goes up, right, to an upper stage, and then there's
Is Trilo on the stage? Are you below the stage? Like, where are you standing?
I am 150 feet away from the necklace.
Why don't you do it from the stage? Because otherwise you'll have to get your arrow up above the height of the stage and above the height into the
Well, I've already
wobbly
rolled, so
That may not be Trilo's style.
Yeah, make me that attack roll.
am I still? Well, actually, I don't have to rely on that. I will ask for guidance from my. Who's this? Is this Oberon or?
Yeah. It's
Sharon
Oberon's
Boggs
star.
or-
This is a Temple of Oberon that we're in.
Gotcha. I'll ask for Oberon to. No, who's the opposite of Oberon, but not evil?
On
Paylor?
Paylor.
Oh.
Guide this arrow to steal from. What's his head?
Oberon, nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Oberon. So total to hit is 15.
How
You
much
see-
how much of that was the guidance?
2.
Slurp sees that Rufus and Dungeon Slayer are cringing, and he gives Trilo a huge thumbs up and yells,
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take!
True.
And speaking of missing shots, the arrow thwacks into the altar and sticks there.
Ah. Should I do it again?
Thack takes his hand axe and throws it.
Make
If you'd
me
like,
an
I
attack
could make
roll.
a invisible servant to go try to get it.
Wait,
You have
Well-
an invisible servant you could deploy?
12
Yeah.
for the hand axe.
It'll take me 10 minutes though to conjure it.
So Rufus, you notice that the arrow that one of your adventuring teammates sent into the altar, it has been joined by a hand axe thrown. Thunk!
I'm gonna look at Elm.
So, during the hoopla, I have gotten myself up on the stage and then up on top, standing on my feet on top of the altar. So I think my head is like the same height
Yeah.
as the top of the lecturary
Yeah.
on the station. And so I've got a really good aim. I'm gonna try and do the same thing. Attach a little string to the arrow and try and shoot that.
So you're going to shoot at this from close up with the intention of carrying the necklace off of the altar and into the room.
Yes.
Tell me like where you're aiming for.
So the nexus is laid out like so
Yeah.
on a little standing thing. I'm going to aim for right the middle of the necklace, but with enough jostling that it jostles up and onto the string that I have at the feathers of my arrow. Because then I can just pull the string down and the necklace will down to me on the altar.
Do you have in your inventory rope or string
No, I
that
don't. Does anybody?
do.
as a done,
Awesome. Can I use
probably
it?
some of you have some rope that would work for this.
I do.
Yeah, I totally don't.
I have
In my-
hempen rope.
In my explorer's pack,
Yeah.
I could
Okay.
twine off some from the main.
So you're
Awesome.
going to pass. You're going to pass her some rope, and you're going to arrange some kind of little net or catcher that will grab onto the necklace as the arrow passes.
Even if you just threw
It's like
shoot
this. I'm
through
going to
the
go
hole of
through
it,
the necklace,
then we can.
and then I'm going to jerk it, and then I'll jostle the necklace off of its stander onto the string, and it'll fall down the string to me, holding the other end of the string.
Slurp yells,
I'll buy you some time!
and he turns and he runs towards the tunnels, and he looks at one of them, he looks at another one, he just kind of runs down one, and he stops and listens to try to see if he can hear any bugs.
That's a
It's
good
Well,
like
idea.
a 13.
You do indeed hear bugs.
Okay.
Crud.
I
What's
move in
gonna
that direction and try to poise myself to block them from coming out of those tunnels.
Okay.
I'm also going to.
We got company!
Let's see, what spell is that? There's this spell where I can summon a weapon, spiritual weapon.
That's a good one.
Yep. That sounds awesome.
So you're going to hold Elm. You're holding one end of a rope while what are you holding? So this bow and arrow takes 2 hands to operate.
Yeah.
You need to
I'm
tell
just
me
stepping
what's...
on the other end of the rope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Great. And you go ahead and roll me the attack roll whenever you plan to carry
Alrighty.
this south.
I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible.
Wait, is she
Do I
still
still have the
blessed?
bless?
How long does bless last? 1 minute?
1 minute.
It's gone.
Darn. Okay, well, I've got a 16.
No, I'll give you guidance.
Awesome. How much is
Go
that?
Pod!
Add a D4.
Guidance is
Roll that
plan.
D4.
I just got a 1, so I now have a 17.
Okay. Yeah. So you succeed in jostling the necklace. It jostles.
But not down the cord?
What happens is you knock it, and your arrow and the necklace and the rope sort of fly off to one side. And make me a dexterity saving throw to try and grab onto the necklace and the rope as they sort of tumble off the edge.
Okay.
Having just been using both hands to operate your bow and arrow, you've got to put it away real quick and grab for the thing that's falling.
All right. I rolled a 14. My saving dexterity is +5, so that's a 19.
You catch the necklace.
Yay!
And you begin to feel something gives in a platform below you. You see the mechanism sort of click and move in front of you, and then suddenly something beneath you breaks, and this whole stage and the pillar begin to fall over and just collapse. I want Elm and also Rufus to make me dexterity saving throws to get out of the way.
Natural 1.
Oh!
I got a 7 with a +5.
Okay. The 7 with the +5.
So that's a 12 for me.
I got a 3. Modified 3.
Okay.
But
So-
natural 1.
Elm, you're able to sprint down the stage, but Rufus, the pillar kind of clips you as it comes down, like in the shoulder, as you're running away, and you take 2 points of damage. Orcman, Slurp, they are coming up. There's a horde of termites that are very close to coming up through these tunnels. The four of you need to make your escape right away. It becomes very apparent.
Let's fight him.
You look and
Yes,
you
Slurp
see
yells.
Horde incoming! Horde!
the room that the way that you came, those tunnels have just collapsed underneath. The whole mechanism of the pillar and the room that you originally came through has just fallen over into a big splintered wooden wreck. The only way out is to the south through the grand entryway, where you know that the priests of old set up some fiendish traps to prevent entry.
We shouldn't go that way.
Or this one main tunnel that these termites are coming up.
Who
Going
has the
away those
necklace?
termites is certain death.
Yeah, right.
There's too many of them coming.
All right.
Okay.
I think, yeah,
Elm has
Slurp.
the necklace in her hand.
Great.
Great. I think Slurp is sprinting, and he turns. He just starts snatching them up as he's running by them, and he's got one of them in each hand, just like sprinting with them up.
You
Like,
mean your teammates?
yeah, he's just running with them, like held like grains of
Nice.
sacks of grain. And he yells for Trilo.
Come on!
Wait, who did you grab? Me and Elm?
Yeah. So you guys
Okay.
don't need to worry about your move speed this round.
I want to try to grab, before we leave, I want to get one of those termite eggs.
Nice.
Okay.
Tell me how that goes. Do I need to roll something to snatch it before Slurp snatches me, or can I just talk to him and coordinate it?
No, I think because the stage is collapsing with the termite eggs on it, you're gonna need to.
Snatch one out of the air
I mean,
from
I guess
the cascading.
snatch one out of the wreckage with a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
You can bless yourself before you do that if you want.
Natural 18, dexterity +2, so that'd be 20.
Yeah, you grab one of these glowing giant termite eggs. You
Glowing?
stuff it into your pack as you run.
Great.
Nice.
Jared, you're a player after my own heart. Makes me so happy.
Passing through the grand entryway, you find yourself in a broad corridor. The floor of this corridor is lined with wooden planks. Each of the planks is 2 feet wide. The walls and ceiling are covered in friezes depicting tales of Oberon from the time of his Starfall to when he becomes a god of the elves. The corridor continues for about 20 yards, it's about 60 feet, and then you can see that it leads to a set of solid wooden stairs descending downward. There are 30 planks total, making up the entire floor of the corridor.
Seems like a good time for perception.
Yeah.
I think I can do that. What are we trying to perceive? How, like, if it's
Traps and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
What's a good way out? I mean, half of these have to be not relevant because they would be to trap people trying to get into the prize. We're trying to get away from the prize, so.
Ooh, I rolled a 6. My perception is +3, so it'd be 9.
Anybody else looking?
I'm happy to look.
You know what? Since
I've got a 10.
Elm and Slurp are literally moving as one, can Slurp be like combining his perception with hers?
Slurp, you should make a separate check.
Okay.
My perception is 6.
Okay.
So far, we have a 6 and a 9 and a 10.
We're all kind of
Does
panicked.
not bode well.
Yeah, it sounds like we're all panicked.
17.
Hot dog.
Slurp, I don't know how you're the one.
Guys, be careful!
Somehow you are the one who, hurrying along, notices that these planks are all connected to the wall via mechanisms like those that you've seen before.
Going down underneath.
No, the places where the planks meet the wall have seams, like the seams, the
Gotcha.
well-fitted sort of wooden seams where it's not only one piece. There are multiple pieces coming together mechanically.
So does that mean that Slurp notices that if he runs along the outside, he might not trip anything because he's literally walking on like a utility ledge?
Slurp notices that there's something up with these planks.
Oh, okay.
Repeat the floor again. Is it just those planks and it's empty below, or is it planks on stone?
It is. You do not see anything beneath the planks. All you see for floor is planks. The walls and ceiling are ornate, artistic, wooden carvings. The floor is like well carpentered, nicely fitting together planks. There are 30 planks in total.
Slurp takes Elm by the back of her like clothes and everything, and just kind of like straight arms her out and says,
Tap 3 of them with your spear.
Good plan.
Oh,
Happily.
I saw this in a play once.
All right. I tap one on the left, one in the middle-ish area, and one in the right-ish area.
So they are arranged in sequential order from you, lengthwise.
Oh.
So there's
Okay.
a 2-foot plank in front of you going left to right, and beyond that there's another 2-foot plank in front of you going left to right. So
Okay,
it's
I'll
like
just tap
2
the first
feet by
3.
6 feet.
I'll
You
tap the
tap-
first 3 in a row. Yep.
Okay. As you tap the first one with your spear, you push down on it, and it does indeed go down. And as it shifts down, it clicks. When you lift up your spear, it clicks up again, and then it drops. It just falls away.
Okay, in that case, I don't tap the next one.
And there's it just falls down. You don't see anything down below. Everybody roll me a perception check.
Okay.
A fresh one.
Fresh one.
Oh. Well, with my add-on, I've got a 5.
11.
15. Thanks to Pawn.
I also have a 5.
What did
High
Trilo
five.
get?
15. Thanks to
Oh,
Pawn.
thank you, Pon.
Trilo, you hear 2 bangs far, far below.
Bang bang.
Why don't we just
Like
jump?
drums?
Why don't we hold hands and jump on them? Jump across like.
Slurp
Or
is
hold
still
on to
holding both of them up in his arms, and he just goes, okay. And he just sprints across at full speed.
Okay.
Oh,
Trilo
gosh.
Trilo!
Are we leaving Trilo behind?
Tell
I mean,
me.
we can
What I
guess
need is
it's
for Slurp.
back.
What I need is for Slurp to tell me exactly how you're running. How long are your steps? Which planks are you touching?
I'm trying to, through sheer athleticism, literally hit each plank with 1 foot one time and just bound onto the next. Just boom, 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 boom.
Oh, gosh, can you go every other one, leaving every other one for Trilo?
And I'm trying to grab Trilo as we pass.
Trilo tries to tie a knot with his 50-foot rope to something as it leaves.
Okay. How
You
about
can try to lasso
You've
me.
just-
I mean, I've
you've
got a
just
huge
given me,
greatsword sticking. I've got a huge
just-
greatsword
Yeah,
sticking
yeah,
out the
great
top of
idea.
my back.
Okay, here's
Yeah,
how we're going
do
to
it.
solve what this happens because it's happening very fast. You all of you roll me initiative as though we were in a battle, and whichever one of you gets the higher initiative, you get to do something first.
Okay.
So if Slurp gets the highest initiative, he's going to start running across, hitting every plank as he goes.
11.
And if Elm gets the highest one, she gets to yell out to Slurp, "Hit every other one!"
Okay.
Okay.
21.
Oh, 8.
Oh man. Okay. 20.
Okay. So
So close,
Rufus,
man. I thought I was gonna just take off.
Rufus, you see that Slurp is about to just take off running.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he's already like dropped his body weight a few inches, and he's bent his knees and dropped his left foot back.
But you have a chance to do something real quick.
I want to try to grab Trilo.
Trilo?
Trilo.
Okay.
Trilo.
Yeah, Trilo is standing near you, and so you're being held by
Slurp.
Slurp, and you're going to grab onto Trilo.
Yeah, I'm pretty strong.
I'd like
Okay.
to point out that all 3 of these jokers do not constitute my light encumbrance.
I know.
Okay?
You're a
Oh,
big
man.
orcish machine.
Yeah.
How
So-
tall are you?
He's like 6'8" and weighs over 300 something pounds, and even for that, his
Wow.
physicality is way beyond what his frame should be able to handle. Like when he punches things, the earth shakes, and there's enough force as like a giant who's 2 feet, 3 feet taller than him would have
He
been.
basically he has the ability to manipulate the physical world as though he was like 12 feet tall,
Right.
basically. So yeah, you can carry the 3 of them just fine. Why don't but I think we are going to need a couple of checks for this. So
Sure.
first, I think that what I need is for Rufus, make me an athletics check to grab Trilo.
Come on, Dice. We want Trilo.
Nice.
Oh, Oberon, help us.
Okay.
You can
Athletics.
add a D4.
11.
I'm happy to
What's
use
D4?
I'm happy
Add a
to use
D4.
part of my action to turn and help him. I don't know if that happens. If that can happen.
14.
Okay. Yeah, he's not resisting you. So I think 14 is probably good enough that you can grab him. You grab onto him, and then, sorry, Josh, your character.
Slurp.
Slurp, make me an athletics check to charge off.
Sure. Slurp takes Rufus and Trilo, who are now heavier, and kind of settles them to his back shoulder and kind of holds up Elm as like on a ship, the Maidenhead. And so, that's a 19.
Yeah. As you charge across, hitting each one of the planks, as soon as your foot lifts off of it, it falls behind you. And then your foot hits the next one, and that one falls. And by the time...
I think you grabbed me, man.
Guys, this is also because all of the termites that are coming in the honeycomb side won't be able to cross that chasm to chase us. Yay!
Yay!
I'm gonna high five Aaron while Slurp is doing this.
And Slurp, when you reach the other side, you see that the very last plank is actually missing, and you hop immediately over it.
Doesn't look
Okay,
good.
can I make
Trilo.
I just
No,
jump?
it's only 2 feet. You can jump.
Okay.
That's as
Okay.
your strides are 2 feet long anyway. You just stride over it. So you reach this stairway. I suppose you set down your cargo, your human cargo.
Is there a clear direction in which to run?
Hey,
Yeah, there's stairs
I'm a
leading down.
wooden owl.
He
Not a
sprints.
human.
He's still he hasn't slowed down. He's still just running
Gross.
at
Oh.
full speed, double moving every round, running like a wrecking ball, like the Incredible Hulk running through the steel, door
Okay.
frames. They're just exploding around him. He's just running. All he
I'm
knows
for
is
perception reasons
speed
again.
and rage
Yeah, so
and
you
speed.
your friend has grabbed you and is just charging down the stairs.
All right. Well,
I'd like to
from
point
my
out
vantage
he's
point-
really fast. He's probably faster than anybody else in the party. So everyone is now moving faster than they've ever moved in their lives.
He's
From my
very
vantage
fast.
point, I'm in a good place to have a drawn bow. So
Sure.
Sure.
that's up and ready.
This is like a scene from Doom. You're just like the corridors are just flying past you.
So, but just as you vanish down these stairs, you get a last look and you see this horde of termites does indeed run out into the corridor that you just passed through, and they come to a stop at the very edge. Their pincers like clicking, and their little I don't know if termites have eyes, but they're like moving around angrily in an agitated way. As you continue down these stairs, you come out into what appears to be a once grand receiving courtyard, where the faithful would come to be vetted by acolytes before being permitted inside. Wooden walls riddled with pincher marks rise at least 100 feet to a domed ceiling pockmarked with holes. In front of you are what appear to be the main doors of the temple, still intact. As you draw closer, you realize that these doors appear to be made of cedar, which explains why they haven't been eaten by the termites. To the right side of the doors are a gigantic set of scales, at least as tall as a person, built into the wall and connected to the doors. In front of the scales are a number of wooden blocks, all of them different irregular sizes and weights, with numbers etched onto their surfaces. The three smallest wooden blocks have the number 5 carved into their surface, 2 have the number 3 carved into them, and the largest one is labeled with the number 1. So there's this large set of scales in front of the gate, which is closed, and these blocks with numbers.
By the way, all these things that are being seen, he's sprinted into this room at full speed, and when he sees that it's this big open room and he sees the big cedar door ahead, he flings everyone backwards as hard as he can to try to negate his running speed. So he didn't want to just drop them and make them, tumble. So he tries to huck him backwards and deposit them at a net 0 speed. And he just runs at this door. I mean, he just runs at the door.
Pounding things, dang.
Okay, I'm gonna need an acrobatics check to deposit your cargo safely, and
Okay,
then
that's
make me
an
the
11.
athletics check to run into the door. It's very in character.
Okay, so that's a 12 acrobatics check to put them down on the ground.
Each of you, if you want to be sure to stay on your feet, make an acrobatics check as well.
Acrobatics.
12 is not good enough that they land easily.
How's
This is not
how's a
graceful.
19?
It's not pretty.
I got a
I got
5.
11.
Trilo lands with cat-like grace, but the other two of
As
you
per
trip and
usual.
fall. Elm, you fall really bad, and you like scrape yourself up on the floor, take 3 damage, and Rufus, ouch, you the same. I think the two of you are just a big tangle of limbs, just rolling over each other. You each take 3 damage, 3 points. And now
Okay.
you stand before this door, which, looking up from your like dust and dirt that you've tumbled through, you see your orc friend just barrel full force into the door.
I'm not blessed by anybody at this point, am I?
Doubtful.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's only an 18.
I'm afraid an 18 is not enough to get through these doors.
That's...
You bounce off them with a resounding thunk.
Yeah.
The whole room echoes.
Okay. All right, I'm guessing the were the cubes?
Yes, there are
Okay.
a number of blocks.
Blocks. Okay,
Three,
I'm
five.
guessing
Blocks.
5, 5, 5, 3, 3, 1. If they are their weights, then we can do 5, 5, 1 on one side and 5, 3, 3 on the other, and maybe balancing is what opens it.
Slurp gets up and is like,
That was gonna be my idea.
I'll help Elm do what she's thinking.
Cool. Yeah, when you put the blocks in that exact arrangement, this easy puzzle unlocks.
Oh, cunning.
she just gets up, walks over, click, click, click.
The doors slowly swing open. You see the scales. The scales go level, despite that they have blocks of all different sizes on them. And you hear the creaking of old wood. At first, nothing happens, but then a sliver of light appears in between the two doors, and they pull back and start to open inch by inch. And you come out of this ancient temple into the glare of the midday sun, up underneath the blue sky of the world.
Whoa! Wow! Have we ever
Slurp
been?
comes
Has
out.
anybody ever been up this high?
Slurp comes
yeah.
out at speed. There better not be like
This
a
is
mountain
where-
goat or a marmot or anything nearby, because it's going to get attacked.
No, there's nothing around. This is
Okay.
this tree is uninhabited for fear of the termite monsters that dwell here. So you'll be climbing down for a little while, but it's not a difficult climb. There are still ladders and bridges and things in place, mostly intact from when this was inhabited. And you
At a couple of points, you see everybody just like with a rope tied onto Slurp, and he's just overhanding just...
I love it.
Yeah, this has been a really good one, guys. I'm glad nobody got hurt. You know, just one that everybody walks away from. That's the ones you really want to do, right?
And
I'm gonna quickly assess the possibility of setting the tree on fire
Whoa!
and what the
You're
implications
like
of that
trying
would
to
be.
make friends with everybody, and now you're gonna set the tree on fire.
I mean, that does solve a problem.
Hey, Rufus. Respect, brother. Respect. You leave an enemy to spawn, guess what? All you're leaving is enemies for your grandkids. Don't listen to these sissies. Looks like this mother.
No,
I think
I think it's a very wise decision, but
Is it like dry, rotted wood? Or is it really wet with their slime? Or
Listen, this stuff's way beyond spalted. I wouldn't turn anything with it.
It's also a temple to Oberon. Do we want to torch a temple to Oberon, no matter how decrepit?
It's
Hey, there's
ruined.
like 900 other gods.
I think I've got some accelerin on me. Hang on.
He starts
sad
digging through
about
his
that.
pack.
You do not need to have a difficult insight check in order to put two and two together that you are attempting to sell a precious ancient Oberonian religious relic to the priests of Oberon who want it. They might not be well disposed towards you if you burn down the temple that you got it from.
You just need
deliberately on
plausible
the way out.
deniability.
Slurp snaps up out of his bag with the big glass bottle. He's like,
This
I
would
got
be,
some of my mom's mouthwash. I'm pretty sure this will get stuff started.
you're retrieving some artifacts from an Egyptian pyramid. The
Blow
Egyptian
up the
government
pyramid on
is
your exit
not,
strategy.
they're not going to be super happy if you deliberately destroy the pyramid.
I guess okay, maybe I misinterpreted. It sounded like it was deeply defiled beyond recovery.
Oh. Yeah, so I guess
it would be like if Notre Dame was condemned, but then somebody went and torched it. I don't think they would want you to torch
think,
Notre Dame, even if it was condemned.
So I think what I can say definitively is that it's a complicated question. It might be something that the elves would have to debate amongst themselves, and that
I'm made out of wood.
you as a human might not understand all of the history behind it and all of the questions that they would be considering.
Slurp takes the stopper out and starts walking towards Trilo like,
Try some?
Guys, how do we stop him?
I'm just kidding. This would eat you alive. You gotta be an orc to try this stuff.
and he like swigs a little bit and takes out a torch and it makes a huge fireball.
I'm just thinking, debates can go on for so long, and it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. I think we'll really be doing him a service here.
Your characters do what your characters decide to do. You tell me what you do.
I'm trying to talk this out with probably mostly Elm.
Okay.
Yeah, my elf half is not keen on that idea. That's,
Slurp sticks
can we
the
do something
bottle
else? Can
back
we
in the bag.
turpentine up all the ground floor, like the bottom? Whatever they do to trees in the park when there's an infestation. Can we just turpentine the bottom mile of this tree?
So it'll fall down?
And until it does, the rot will be contained.
What eats termites?
Badgers?
We should get some really big badgers and just come back here with I think like 2,000 badgers would be enough.
Trilo,
So
Some sort of
can you do that?
bug aardvark.
Right,
Bug
yeah.
I think I could probably get like 8 dire badgers a day. Maybe more if I had help.
You
I'm
could?
faster than a badger.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I'm
could
really,
tie their
you
tails
know-
together. And
you were the man I was carrying you, didn't you? Like, I was really, really fast.
Are there any
Did I
nearby?
hit, you must have hit your head or something. You didn't miss it, did you? I mean, you had like front row.
So
He's
I
talking
think
to Dragonfly.
So I think that the camera that we're watching this through sort of pulls back slowly
While the
on
argument is
scene
ongoing.
as the orc is slowly climbing down the tree with his adventurer buddies sitting sort of on his shoulders, debating whether they should turpentine the trunk of the tree or whether they should go and they should find some
Wood
dire
rare badgers.
badgers to come back here with, whether it might
or
better
bug
to set
aardvarks. Bug
to set-
aardvark.
or bug aardvarks, which Trilo apparently might have access to in some way. And
Oh, you didn't
just
even-
this,
Those are way better than badgers.
the back and forth
Yeah.
slowly
Badgers are
fades
short-term
out
solution.
as our heroes descend back down to the forest floor with their treasure. Good job. You've solved this this tiny one-shot dungeon crawl. Let's do some shout-outs.
Thanks, Matt.
Did any of you? We never really introduced ourselves, so if you want to introduce yourself to our audience, or if you want to promote any of your creative work or anything that your internet person, it's traditional to have a shout outs segment. I will go first. I'm Matthew Talamini. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew TALAMINI.com. And I'm going to throw it to Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh. If anyone wants to talk about AI or Bigfoot or start a new company or whatever, you can find me at JSUICH at Gmail, Instagram, Facebook, and Reddit. And if you go to Reddit, you can check out the Starfall Collective, where the subreddit for talking about fan theories and such exists. And I'll talk to you there as well.
Throw it to somebody else.
I'll throw it to my main man, Dwight.
Hi, I'm Dwight, and I was creative once. It didn't go well.
One time.
Oh.
Alrighty.
If you're done, Dwight, you can pass it to somebody else.
I'll pass it to Jared.
I don't really have any plugs. Do you, Aaron?
No, I'm Aaron Joy. I would like to shout out Matt Talamini for overall awesomeness at the previous mentioned address.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
This was great fun. I just want to mention as a scheduling matter, next week we will be starting season 3 of the Starfall Collective, the official start. It will be, yes, exactly. It will be DM'd by Sir Robert. It promises to be super fun, possibly depressing, possibly including player death and resource-constrained gameplay. So
it's going to be like a Russian novel. It's going to be agonizingly beautiful work to get through.
Amen. So remember, join us next time, and remember, failure is beautiful.
Not with me in your party.
You're